Hey, this will be a video chart on KMAG. Done quite a few videos on this, and this is the weekly chart we're looking at. Being a Friday, what better time to do a weekly chart than when the candle is formed? But I'm actually going to spend some time on the daily chart too, because I really like the pattern that's taking shape on the weekly chart. However, so that's kind of the bullish part of the video. But then on the flip side, today's action, I don't want to say was disheartening, but you was a little bit of kind of not what you would want to see, and potentially something happened today which is bullish, and I'll explain what I mean by that. But two different perspectives, like I said, on the longer term perspective, on the weekly chart here, a nice solid bullish pattern. But then the daily chart, brings up a few questions, and they're simply questions. They're not matter of facts or anything like that. So first, let's just map out kind of the overall context of the chart. And again, this is a weekly chart, so just a longer term time frame. And what we have is, personally my favorite pattern out there, the falling wedge pattern. And falling, you may think, oh, that must be bearish, but actually a falling wedge pattern is a bullish pattern. So right there we have a resistance portion of it. Here we have our support portion of it. And that is, the classic falling wedge. And, if you were to Google it, I'm sure you'd see plenty of examples that look very similar to this. And also, if you do Google it, you'll probably see why. It's one of my favorite ones, because it does can produce some very nice breakouts. And you can see here, kind of running out of space. So hopefully a move upwards is, underway. Now that brings us to the next point about the daily chart and the question. So obviously today wasn't the best in terms of a candle. Great volume came in, but then profit takers knocked it back down. Now at the beginning of the video I said this is potentially bullish. So what do I mean by potentially bullish? Well, clearly there's a bunch of sellers up in this area. That's why the price got knocked back down. But at least this push allowed people that wanted to get up in this area, it allowed them to get out. So potentially it just did some kind of snow plowing, we'll call it. So we had some snow on the road. This plow, or the plow, came through, cleared a bunch of it off, but then it was still snowing, so there's a little bit of snow still on the road. So maybe this cleared the path somewhat, and with another push upwards, it'll be much less resistance now, since this allowed profit takers to get out. Hopefully that is the case. If this was some sort of dilution or something like that, then that's a whole another ball game. But this is potentially a bullish thing. But on the same note, it could it's a little disheartening, because the weekly chart's not going to have any chance to break out from the falling wedge if the daily chart is going to continue to have days like this. So that's kind of where it comes together and gives you both sides of things. But if this was indeed just a clearing of resistances and a clearing of retail sellers, then with a break from this falling wedge chart, or falling wedge pattern on the weekly chart, lots of upside potential. The next really key resistance isn't until up here at the 50-week simple moving average, which is valued at 0.008. So lots of upwards, like I said, potential. And as the chart has shown us in the past, it has the ability to really get moving. But all breakouts on the weekly chart obviously start on the daily chart. And not to state the obvious, but if these sorts of days are going to keep happening, then nothing's going to transpire on the weekly chart. But then again, if this was kind of the snowplow coming through and just clearing the way a little bit, then the weekly chart could really start to pick up here soon. So we'll see what happens, but that is where the chart currently stands from the weekly and daily perspective. If there are any other questions on the chart, please let me know. If not, I'd encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook. And with the newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things, from big boards down to penny stocks. It is all free, no strings attached. We've been making some good money together on alerts, so I'd encourage you to go to the website, sign up, and see what it's all about. Also, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about the chart and what'll transpire next week. One more time, this was KMAG. Thanks for listening.